You're into swordplay too? Figured as much. You've got a fine blade there. You must be pretty good with it. Let's have a friendly spar and see what you've got.
Hi, my name is Robin Liew Harper, and I am the voice of Kezhou in Duet Night Abyss. Congratulations on the release of the Huashi version. This is the version where Kezhou debuts, and I cannot wait for you to meet him. What do I think of the world-building Duet Night Abyss? Okay, so Duet Night Abyss obviously is a kind of a darker fantasy storyline. It's got this kind of solemnity to it. It's a kind of profoundness in the writing. You get the sense of like encroaching darkness and immediate threat and tyranny from the Empire. So yeah, there's this constant threat. But even with all of that, what I love about it is that there's this sense of strong bonds between the characters, and there's sort of like hope shining through the darkness. And I'm an absolute sucker for this kind of story. Yeah, and that's kind of the generalness to it. Obviously, with Huashi, the world is kind of this ancient, kind of traditional kind of Chinese-style culture, but then blended with this kind of high-tech, fantasy technology, which is amazing. It's an interesting kind of world because it's got, well, they've got the 9 chapters of Dafeng, which is this legal system they have, and it keeps everything kind of orderly, but underneath there's this kind of bubbling up. So everything looks fine initially, but there's more to it, and that you will discover playing the game.
To me, Huashi is like a clumsy swordsman glued to their 9 chapters of Dafeng. They can't even deal with a drifter like me. What chance do they have against a true threat? It's only a matter of time before they fall.
Okay, so what do I feel is most appealing about Kezhou? Well, Kezhou is your archetypical wuxia kind of warrior, and he's got this strong sense of justice and moral right and wrong. He's the type of guy that you want at your back looking after you when you're going up against the bad guys, whoever they might be. He has a charm to him. He's like a grown-up kid, or rather a grown-up that never stopped being a kid. He's a little bit goofy, and I love that about him. Now, he is a drifter, and of course, he has chosen a life of freedom. And of course, that does come with some consequences as he goes up against the 9 chapters of Dafeng, who have the magistrates, very, very strict rules of law, which see people like Kezhou as a problem. But even through all of that, he holds to his own values, and he fights for what he sees as good. And if he earns a meal every so often, I think that's definitely not an issue.
Of course! Being good with a sword doesn't mean you're stuck using only it. In Huashi, there are people who can use pens and chopsticks as weapons. Does that mean swordsmen are supposed to starve or never write?
Kezhou wasn't exactly what I expected initially. When I first auditioned for it, I sort of saw the picture and I thought, archetypical serious warrior, and I went immediately into the kind of seriousness of it. And my first audition was, I'm Kezhou, I'm a serious warrior. And feedback came back, and they said, it's great, but try these references, and they provided a few things. And the immediate thing that I learned from seeing all the references that were sent over was the character's way more whimsical. Kezhou is whimsical, and so it took a little while to tune into his vibe. So he's very laid back. And the other thing is that I tend to want to, with kind of fighty characters, I want to be more aggressive, to be faster paced. And they kept telling me in the booth, slow down, he's relaxed. And it took me a little while to get into the pace, the vibe. But when I did, Kezhou just materialized. It was, yeah, fantastic.
That said, if I ever meet a worthy opponent, you can bet I'll draw my sword and go all out.
anything I could say could spoil a lot. Yeah. There's this point in the story where Kezhou goes on this sort of little personal mission to find other drifters in the world for a purpose. And in that, you get a lot of his own personal character through. All that whimsy comes out, all that kind of positivity. But as you go through, there are things that you learn about him, about the drifters. And it sort of struck me doing that Kezhou is actually, with all the positivity, all the sort of solitariness, that he's quite a lonely character in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things that he bears on his shoulders, that he grins through. And that's the bit that stuck with me, because though he puts on a brave face, there's a lot that he is carrying with him.
I've been free-spirited all my life, doing everything my way, drawing my sword wherever I saw injustice. I only ever listened to what I wanted to hear from my Shifu or Yu Ming. The rest, in one ear and out the other, like the wind passing by. So tell me, why would I let myself be chained by some laws?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a lot of fun working on Duet Night Abyss, bringing Kezhou to life, exploring the world of Huashi. And I really hope that as you explore it, that you enjoy it as much as I did, that you engross yourself into this magical world. Duet Night Abyss is a thrilling hybrid action RPG featuring a dual narrative. The latest version is officially live. Download and play today and join Kezhou, the wandering swordsman, in his bold and free-spirited fight for justice.